Have you ever wondered why the NASA logo looks the way it does? Could it be hiding a secret message? Delve with us into the enigma that is the NASA logo. Its design, an iconic symbol recognized globally, has sparked intrigue and speculation since its inception. The logo's evolution over time can be traced back to the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, the predecessor of NASA. It was then that the first seeds of what we now know as the NASA logo were sown. The original logo was a simple, round seal featuring an eagle, a shield, and the familiar stars and orbital path we see in the current design. But in 1959, the NASA logo we all recognize was birthed, featuring a distinctive round shape, a red swoosh symbolizing aeronautics, and white stars against a blue sphere representing space. Now, here's where the plot thickens. Some theorists believe that this logo is not just a design but a cryptic message from a secret society. They argue that the red swoosh, known as the vector, could symbolize the infamous Illuminati's all-seeing eye, or point towards satanic signs. To further stoke the flames of this conspiracy, theorists point to the 1975 redesign of the NASA logo. This design, known as the worm, was a sleek, modern take on the original. However, some saw the curvy, serpentine design as further evidence of Illuminati or satanic influence. But before we get carried away in the sea of conspiracy, it's worth noting that these theories are just that, theories. The designers of the NASA logo have always maintained that their design is an artistic representation of the organization's mission and vision, with no hidden messages or secret symbols. So, is the NASA logo just a cool design, or could it be a cryptic message from a secret society? As we delve deeper into this mystery, we invite you to keep an open mind and join us on this journey through the cosmos of conspiracy. Now let's delve into one of the most enduring conspiracy theories, that the moon landing was faked. In the summer of 1969, the world watched breathlessly as astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin set foot on the moon. But not everyone was convinced. Fast forward to today, and you'll find a number of conspiracy theories suggesting that the moon landing was a sophisticated hoax by NASA. Let's take a look at some of the evidence these theorists present. First up is the claim that the American flag planted by Armstrong and Aldrin seemed to ripple in the breeze. But wait a minute, there's no air or wind on the moon, right? Well, this mystery isn't as mystifying as it might seem. NASA designed a flag with a horizontal rod to keep it extended in the airless lunar environment. The apparent rippling was simply the flag settling after it had been unfurled. Next we have the shadows. Some argue that the shadows in the moon landing photographs are inconsistent, suggesting multiple light sources like in a film studio. But experts in photography and physics explain that uneven lunar terrain and the reflection of sunlight off the lunar surface can distort shadows, making them appear to fall in different directions. Then there's the curious case of the missing stars. Why are there no stars in the photographs? The theorists ask. Well, the answer lies in the camera settings. The lunar surface is bright and the astronauts' white spacesuits reflected a lot of sunlight. To capture this, the cameras had to be set to a low exposure, which made the faint stars in the distant background disappear. These are just a few of the many pieces of evidence that conspiracy theorists use to claim the moon landing was a hoax. But each claim has been thoroughly investigated and debunked by experts in various fields. Articles in reputable scientific journals, explanations from astronauts themselves, and countless hours of research by dedicated debunkers all point to the same conclusion: the moon landing was real. Despite this, the moon landing conspiracy continues to capture our collective imagination. Is it the allure of a grand secret, the distrust of authority, or simply the human tendency to seek patterns and meanings even where there are none? The moon landing conspiracy has been a topic of debate for decades, but could there be a grain of truth in it? Stay tuned as we continue to explore the world of conspiracy theories and the human fascination with the unknown. Moving on from the moon, let's explore another fascinating theory. Is NASA hiding evidence of extraterrestrial life? Let's delve into the mysterious world of alien cover-ups, starting with the infamous face on Mars. Back in 1976, NASA's Viking 1 spacecraft snapped a photo of a peculiar structure on the Martian surface that resembled a humanoid face. Conspiracy theorists were quick to claim it as proof of a long-lost Martian civilization. NASA, however, presented a less sensational explanation. They attributed the face to a natural rock formation and a play of light and shadow. Years later, higher-resolution images confirmed NASA's stance, showing the face to be nothing more than a regular mesa. Was this a simple case of pareidolia, where our brains seek familiar patterns, or a clever cover-up? Next, let's orbit around the numerous UFO sightings reported by astronauts. One of the most famous incidents involves astronaut Gordon Cooper, who claimed to have seen a greenish UFO during his 15-orbit mission in Mercury 9. Yet NASA dismissed his claims as effects of high levels of carbon dioxide in the spacecraft. Similarly, during the Apollo 11 mission, Buzz Aldrin reported seeing a light outside the spacecraft, which he initially thought might be a UFO. NASA's explanation: sunlight reflecting off one of the discarded rocket panels. These instances, coupled with countless others, have fueled suspicion among certain circles that NASA may be hiding more than it reveals. Critics argue that, as a government agency, NASA is under pressure to maintain public order and prevent panic, which might explain why they're so quick to provide mundane explanations for these extraordinary occurrences. But the question remains, are these explanations truly satisfactory, or are they an attempt to veil a larger truth? After all, the universe is vast and largely unexplored. Could it be that we are not alone, and NASA, for reasons best known to them, is choosing to keep us in the dark? In 2023, NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter captured an image of a rock formation that eerily resembled a bear's mouth. Again, NASA attributed this to pareidolia, but some theorists saw it as another attempt to trivialize evidence of extraterrestrial life. The existence of extraterrestrial life is a question that has intrigued mankind for centuries, but is NASA keeping the truth from us? Scene script. Let's shift our focus to an organization that has been a staple of conspiracy theories: the Illuminati. Could NASA be connected to them? To begin, let's take a quick trip back in time. The Illuminati was a secret society founded in the late 18th century in Bavaria, a region in Germany. Their goal was to oppose religious influence over public life and abuses of state power. They championed women's education and equality, an idea that was revolutionary at the time. But the society was disbanded and suppressed by the Bavarian government within a decade of its formation. However, conspiracy theorists would have you believe that the Illuminati didn't disappear. They simply went underground and have been manipulating world events from behind the scenes ever since. And one of the organizations they supposedly control? You guessed it, NASA. The supposed connection between NASA and the Illuminati primarily revolves around symbols. The Illuminati is often associated with the all-seeing eye, a symbol that also appears in NASA's mission patches. One notable example is the Apollo mission patches, where an eagle, a bird often associated with the all-seeing eye, is prominently featured. Then, there's the hexagonal storm on Saturn, a planet that holds significant importance in occult symbolism. NASA's Cassini mission to Saturn provided the first close-up images of this storm, fueling theories of an Illuminati connection. And let's not forget the infamous Face on Mars incident. When NASA's Viking 1 spacecraft sent back images of a face-like formation on Mars in the late 70s, conspiracy theorists jumped on it as proof of extraterrestrial life, or even a secret Illuminati base. NASA has since debunked this theory with higher resolution images, but for some, the face on Mars remains an enduring symbol of NASA's supposed Illuminati ties. Of course, skeptics argue that these connections are nothing more than pareidolia, our tendency to see patterns where none exist. And it's worth noting that the all-seeing eye and hexagonal shapes are common design elements, while the face on Mars can be attributed to shadow and light effects. The Illuminati, a shadowy organization with vast power, or a figment of our collective imagination? And where does NASA fit into this narrative? It's a question that continues to captivate and perplex. Whether you're a believer in these theories or a steadfast skeptic, one thing is for certain: the allure of the unknown is a powerful force. Finally, let's examine the claim that NASA's logo and other imagery contain hidden satanic symbols. A common belief among conspiracy theorists is that certain symbols, such as the pentagram or the number 666, are secret signs of satanic worship. These signs, they claim, are subtly incorporated into the design of the NASA logo and other associated imagery. So, what is the basis for these claims? The argument hinges on the interpretation of the NASA logo, affectionately known as the meatball. The blue sphere represents a planet, the stars embody space, the red chevron is a wing symbolizing aeronautics, and then there's the orbiting spacecraft going around the wing. But some theorists see more than that. They see the red chevron as a stylized tongue of flame, a common element in satanic imagery. And then there's the serpent's tongue, A theory based on the observation that the tip of the red chevron in the logo resembles a forked serpent's tongue, an image often associated with evil and deception. But what do authoritative sources say? NASA has provided clear explanations for its logo design elements, all of which are rooted in science and exploration, not in mysticism or Satanism. The meatball was designed by James Motorelli in 1959, the second senior-most illustrator in NASA's Lewis Research Center's Research Reports Division. The red chevron, or vector, according to NASA, represents hypersonic wings, referencing the aeronautical research that was the organization's primary focus at the time. The spherical shape represents a planet, and the stars symbolize space itself. As for the serpent's tongue, it seems that any resemblance is purely coincidental, and not a part of Motorelli's original concept. Satanic signs or simple design elements? What do you believe? So, after exploring these conspiracy theories, what can we conclude? Are they grounded in truth, or are they just creative interpretations of coincidences and misunderstandings? In our journey together, we have delved into the mysterious NASA logo, speculated about the moon landing, and wondered about alien cover-ups. We've pondered over the Illuminati connection and examined the satanic signs. All these theories, as intriguing as they are they fact or fiction? The NASA logo, with its vector symbol, has been interpreted by some as a secret nod to the Illuminati. Yet it's also simply a representation of the agency's aerospace mission. The moon landing, a monumental achievement of human ingenuity, has been questioned by skeptics who believe it was all a grand hoax. But what of the numerous pieces of evidence, like moon rocks brought back to Earth, that support its reality? We've explored the idea of an alien cover-up, a narrative that suggests NASA is hiding proof of extraterrestrial life. Yet it's important to remember that the universe is vast, and our understanding of it is continually evolving. As for the Illuminati connection and the satanic signs, these theories often rely on symbolism and interpretation, which can be highly subjective. Is it a hidden message, or is it just human pattern-seeking behavior at work? It's crucial to remember that while questioning is healthy, it's also essential to base our beliefs on evidence. Conspiracy theories can be fascinating and even fun, but they shouldn't replace rigorous scientific inquiry. In the end, the truth may be out there, waiting to be discovered. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep looking at the stars.